And it's still connecting. Okay, folks, this is part of the meeting where we're going to chat, talk, whatever. So go ahead and mute yourself and chat away. And we'll keep this running for 15, 20 minutes, half hour. And we'll stop it from there. Thank you.
So Jim, I've got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Okay, this, I don't know if you've heard this one before, but I'm thinking it's probably not a valid contact method, but what about Echolink?
Okay, basically, the first step from you needs to be on a radio.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. Just coming in on the computer like Echolink, no, that doesn't work. There's one very small exception, and that is to the folks that are using a remote HF station. We're allowing that. Basically, this just affects the W7RN operation up there at Story County, because that's it. They're actually having to use what looks like a radio at home to be able to control the operation up there at Virginia Highlands and that. So they're actually talking on a mic into a what we call a K3/0 radio front end. It's like having the detachable front end and off a mobile radio. It's a similar type unit, and it handles control of the radio. So we made that exception and that, but using Echolink, no. Now, if you can't coming in on a hotspot, if you're using your handheld on a hotspot on DMR, that is go, because your first path out is on RF.
Now,
Thank
I
you.
would think you could use Echolink to tie two repeaters together and then come in with RF to either repeater.
Yes, you could do that. Good point, Clint, I mean.
That's the same as a linked repeater system, so.
Right. Yeah, and some of the
But
repeater
again,
systems,
your first path is still RF.
right.
I got a question.
Sure.
You're talking about the lines, the county lines. I see, you got the Carson City, Lyon, Story, and Washoe there. No, we know what we have to be, how close we have to be to it, at least within 1,000 yards of the county lines, correct?
500.
500. Okay, 500 feet. That's even. Now, here's a situation I'm going to ask. This is you got 4 counties right there in the county line. You got to have some kind of coordinates in there, and if you can't get that kind of coordinates, in other words, say there's, I guess a town in between. What do you say? I mean, how do you get that close?
Basically, the fellow's doing it has checked it out. You can get the coordinates off Google Earth. You can go to Google Earth and click on that spot, and it'll show up showing the coordinates, GPS coordinates, and then you can use your handheld type GPS to make sure that your position is within 500 feet of that location. Most of the handhelds have the capability of measuring distance from a point to a point.
All right. How about your phone? Would that work?
Depends upon the phone and the software you have on it.
Okay. Second question. How come we can't just take in somebody on the exchange? Like it says, find a Danny, like we're putting out Nevada, I mean, we're NVWAS or whatever it may be. And we, why can't we just have, 5-9 with the other states, 5-9 Connecticut, 5-9 Colorado, instead of having the their sections, you know what I'm saying? Wouldn't it be quicker and it'd be faster for us moving forward.
Well, the problem there actually occurs because we're using the WSJTX.
Oh,
And the field day overlay is in sections. And that's why we have the sections.
okay, all right. Didn't think about that aspect. Yeah,
And like the two states you mentioned are solid states. They do not have subsections, but California, Texas, Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey, for a small state. And let's see, what else? A couple of Washington. Those states are divided up somewhat and but it's relatively minor. And then Ontario, Canada is broken up into 4 and that. So yeah, it's, it is a little different for folks to have the sections, but there again, we're coming up on 2 other big contests here in the next month and a half that require sections. The CW sweepstakes and the voice sweepstakes. And those are both section oriented.
okay, yeah. I just thought there had to be could have been an easier path, you know what I mean, to move forward. Like says, we give our stuff, like you see a lot of them that they have their stuff. Well, our county, we give out our a serial number in the county, you know what I mean, where they can reply with just 59, Nebraska or stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be,
Well,
like-
they can,
Go
for
ahead.
Nebraska, they could just go 59 Nevada or Nebraska.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. Okay. Okay, that's all I got. Did I mute? Am I mute? I'm muted now. Yeah.
You're unmuted, yeah.
Nope.
I've got a question.
Sure.
Is there, for the N1MM setup, is there a profile or, I was just looking on the website, I didn't find it immediately, how to set that up, or is there a generic one we should use?
Yes, there is one set up. Basically, you go to QSO parties. They're in the main list of the contest. And when it comes up in the box there, let me
Is that
show
in
it.
N1MM?
Yeah, this is an N1MM.
Oh, okay.
And let me go here to here.
You're still showing your webpage, Jim, not N1MM.
Okay, yeah, I know that. I'll have to, when I get around to doing it here, I'll, because N1M is very unfriendly in terms of, Zoom's very unfriendly in doing this.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
it's one of the options. They've
Jim,
imported
we have to
the
unshare
Nevada
and
one
then reshare.
into N1MM.
Yeah, I'm gonna exit here for a second and come back in. Stop share. Share screen. Let's see here.
Hmm.
Okay, this should now show the QSO party, new log for QSO party.
Okay.
See it? Okay, when it comes up now, you go to the QSO party log type, because that's got a, big drop down there to find the right party. Then you can go to state for log type,
Mm-hmm.
click on it, scroll down here,
Oh, okay.
and there's Nevada, and it'll set it up correctly. A couple of quick things there. it automatically puts you in high power and assisted. You'll need to change those two. If you're gonna run all three modes, go ahead and just click on that one. Change it to CW digital. And most people will be unassisted, running in low power. And where it says my county, you'd put the your county.
And we're counting Carson as its own county, right? Yeah.
Right. So that'd be
Ormsby.
NVCAR. What?
Ormsby.
Yeah, it's not Ormsby, unfortunately, and they did away with that, but no, it's NVCAR
Right. Yeah.
and that. So basically, I'm set it right now. I can click OK to create it. Since I'm already getting things set up to make sure I'm operating correctly, I'm not going to save it, but at that point, you'd be set up correctly. Cancel, and you'd come up with your screen. Now you can see here I'm set up with Rover, Nevada, Pershing. So I just be able to put a call sign in there. Make sure I'm on 40 voice. W7TA, and I hit space bar, and I'm ready to put NVWAS and enter. It goes in my log, and we're up and running on the contest.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. I didn't realize they had already. You've had them add that to the N1MM choices. That's nice.
Yes, all the state QSO parties that they know of are set up that way, and that I've had people say, "Well, all I see is it's putting it in the 7QP." Well, that's just at the top of that drop-down list, and you'd have to hit that drop-down list on that setup window to find the Nevada one or the California one here, and should have been logged in about 15 minutes ago. But anyway, yeah, that's a real good question. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. No, thanks. That's perfect. I know where to find it now.
So Jim, I've got two questions.
Go ahead.
You guys, I need to drop. Thanks a lot, Jim, for the presentation. It was great.
Hey, John, have a good one. Go ahead, John Fox.
Okay. One, I saw there on the logging program, there's no VHF, UHF bands listed.
Right. Basically, you'll need to go into the setup a little bit to put those in. Just put in 2 meters. I don't, doesn't matter which one you're going to be on 6 or what. Just put 2 meters. It'll make it easier on us when we score and log them there. If you want to log them to send to elsewhere, then you can go ahead and add all the bands. And that the 6 meters, 2 meters, 70 centimeters, so on. And that, but there is a way in the setup and that. What I do is I set up for two transmitters or 2 radios. And I have one entry box just to do the VHF, UHF contacts. And the other box will be my standard for the HF bands and is connected to the radio. The other one is the VHF one is just not connected to the radios. Since the radios I have are not really connectable.
Okay, so my second question is regarding number of transmitters. So typically on contests, I might have a dedicated, let's say, a dedicated 6-meter transmitter. Okay, and then I've got a separate transmitter for HF, but the contest can include both bands. So I usually just put one transmitter okay, when I turn in my lock. But what if you're doing, let's say 2-meter, okay, and usually 2-meter is not part of your HF setup. There's not many radios have that capability yet. So you've got a separate 2-meter radio, and then you've got your 6-meter and 10-meter and 20 and 40 on another transmitter. What do you list as the number of transmitters?
Okay, basically I listed as 2. And that works out. That's fine. We really aren't looking at that real hard from a scoring standpoint on this contest. But okay, are you showing this config menu?
Yes.
Okay. So when you come in here, I would go ahead and I would click SO2R. And that gives me both radios so that when I go okay. Okay, you see it open, did you see it open a second entry window?
Yeah.
Okay,
I see it. It's listed. It says manual radio on that one.
yeah, manual radio 2.
Well, it says manual radio 1, but
Right.
Okay, well, it opened a second window. Let me back out again, zoom here. Okay, now you should see a manual radio 2.
yes.
Okay, so I went here, I typed 144.000, and it's now put me on 2 meters. It doesn't show anything over here, but I'm on 2 meters and ready to start going. And I also better put phone PH. Okay. F and oops. Yeah. Fingers are not cooperating yet. I haven't had coffee either. Okay, I put FM in there, which let me know I'm on the FM manual radio too. You see that? And I'm on 2 meters. So then I could put in W7TA. Now, you see that it came up with Washoe because I had operated Washoe before, or W7TA before. So it already knew that it was in Washoe County and I'm ready to continue on. But that's using being able to use 2 radios at once. You probably can't see the manual radio 1 that's still here on the screen.
Where's that set, Jim?
What?
Is that above or below your main screen?
I have it sitting to the side right now. You can put
Oh,
it,
side by side?
you can arrange these however you want on the screen by dragging them around.
I see, okay.
And that lets you say run that second radio. So then I could, click over on the radio 1 if I suddenly heard somebody come up on 40 meters and be able to go right to them.
Yeah,
Or I can jump back to the this other one and add another repeater contact if I needed to.
gotcha. That's pretty,
And it works really sweet for doing that.
I was
this is
having a problem last year. I said, how the hell do I do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you find yourself typing 144.000 all the time.
Yeah, that's kind of sucked. This here is gonna be cool.
Yeah,
Like, makes it a hell of a lot better, yeah.
yeah. Well, this is one of the more advanced techniques
Yeah.
of doing this. And, I didn't learn about it till last year either. So, no. And I used it last year and it worked like a champ.
Yeah, I can see why. I'll be
And,
doing
Jim.
this.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, thank you for asking that question. Any other questions on the finer points of operating the contest? Okay, I'll turn it back over to Doug.
Hold on.
And Doug,
I got a question for you.
okay, go ahead.
On the Radio 2, how do you, I looked at it, but your Radio 2, how did you have it set up in the config? I saw you go SO 2R, and
Right.
what about the I guess it did, anyway, how does the settings go on that? With
Okay, since I don't have that, it's gonna be a manual radio. I didn't mess with any settings.
Oh, I see. Gotcha. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Everything
So I
else
didn't have to do
is
that.
key to.
Now, if you had
Yeah.
a radio that's capable of being hooked to the computer
Mhm.
and that, quite often, that second radio was a handheld sitting there.
What about a TS 2000 where you got subband as well?
Okay, well, now on a TS 2000, you should be able to you can go ahead and in the setup, and I have never done this, but I spotted it in one of the discussions in one of the forums, is there's a way to add those other frequencies to your frequency drop-down list.
Okay.
And I would just go ahead and add, it. There, obviously, you're probably just going to stay on the 2-meter repeater.
Well, yeah, but most likely, yeah. Of course, like I said, I got the capability and go upper side band,
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. But I was just curious how I can link up to that and set it up at that point. Have it ready to go, just jack it in, away I go. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And but I still I can still do it. Like I said, I can still have my 7300 operating that and just go to the other radio and just do what you just did on the N1MM. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. As I say, you'd probably have to read the manual and find that section on how to expand that frequency list there on the left side of the entry box.
Yeah.
And,
I added that to the no, that had nothing to do with it. Never mind. I talked through never mind. I just thought about that. I go, no, that don't mean nothing. Yeah. So yeah. Because I had it linked into I was telling that, if you're not using assisted, it ain't gonna be there.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Okay, real good. That's one thing about contests, and that is you learn more things about how to work your radio, how to interface it with computers, and improve your logging skills. We talk about the emergency services. Emergency services are all about correctly logging things. And what do contests teach you how to do? Correctly log things.
it's true.
And that. So it's a great way to go. And a lot of people poo-poo contests, but they can be a lot of fun, a good experience. You make tons of contacts, and it's fun. And one thing about this contest is it's a friendly one. Do not feel that you have to give them a wham bam, thank you, ma'am type contact like you hear in some of the big standard contests.
Yeah.
Feel free to do it. I usually, when I operate from home on some of these contests, I will have the weather up across the country, and I look and say, "Oh, Minnesota! Hey, you're getting some rain up there. And they go, yeah, how do you know?
Yeah.
And that, or something like that. Or I visited Florida 2 years ago and just had a great time out there, looking at the scenery along the coast, and went down to Everglades. And thank you very much for Florida Contact, and they smile and come back. You don't have to be, say, one of these, 5'9" and over.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's good. With good software, it makes things a heck of a lot easier and fun.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna back out of here, Jim. Thanks for your input.
Okay.
We'll catch you later.
Have
Good
fun.
luck. You too.
Anybody else got any questions now that we've created more problems? Doug. Okay, Doug, I'll turn it over to you and go ahead and we can probably stop this part and then start this general questions and that.
All right, thanks, everybody. I'm going to terminate the recording.